Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So we got Bitcoin here on the daily, a bit of a slump on the daily chart. You guys can see that retracement after several bullish days. And even though we are seeing that little bit of a correction, guys, I'm still thinking this is looking fairly positive for the entire market. We saw initially an uptrend with only one bearish day there, but otherwise we saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bullish candlesticks. Now we're retracing a little bit. If you look down here, the positive volume upwards really does exceed that negative trading volume. If I were to just punch in down there, that descending negative trading volume trend. So that's moving downward, which means the negative pressure is slowly dissipating. We can also see that in the candlesticks as well. They are smaller, shorter candlesticks compared to the bullish trend upward. So that is a good indication that on that micro time frame, we are likely just seeing a retracement before the trend continues to move upward. And, even just taking a look at former reversal patterns for Bitcoin, like right back here in late 2019 and early 2020, you guys can see there the reverse head and shoulders pattern before that uptrend. Of course, though, at that point, there was the beer flu, the lockdowns, which shook markets. So that was that black swan event that brought the trend down further. However, if we were to just look at this and, zoom in on what happened right before that, you guys can see that, again, reverse head and shoulders pattern, higher highs forming, and we are seeing the same kind of thing here. Obviously, we need to see higher highs being printed on the Bitcoin chart for this trend to move higher, but it's a positive indication that we are going to start moving to the upside. Now, XRP right now trading at 35.5 cents, and, it's looking similar to the Bitcoin trend. Let me just take that off auto, as you guys can see here. Not as prominent of a inverted head and shoulders pattern, but you can see XRP also trying to move up here. The reversal looking fairly weak compared to, the price movement to the upside that we've seen. So hopefully, keeping our fingers crossed, this is a move in the right direction. This is not to say that, we could actually even see lower lows in the meantime, but for the shorter time frame, hopefully we will see higher highs. So again, like I said, it's not to say that we may not see XRP and other coins go even lower before the fall of 2022 and then hopefully blast off into the stratosphere. Of course, a lot of factors involved that will influence this. XRP Crypto Wolf bringing this to our attention with regards to Coinbase. They say, now they made a public statement, okay, on the heels of the allegations of the insider traders who were utilizing Coinbase to trade. They're saying, despite everything else, they have no financial exposure to bankrupt crypto firms. So this kind of has to do with their stability as a company as a whole. Coinbase publicly stated, now this was actually before that announcement because they stated this last Wednesday. Nevertheless, I'm sure they knew what was coming down the pipe, that it has no exposure to the recent crypto firms that have recently filed for bankruptcy, including Three Arrows Capital, Voyager Digital, and the Celsius Network. Why would they say this? Why would they say this unless they foresee more negative news perhaps coming their way, more allegations perhaps coming their way? That's how I'm reading into this, so I would not be surprised if there were more allegations or some other negative news headed towards Coinbase. The collapse of these three companies likely gave more fuel to the crypto bear market and sparked a lot of investor panic. Yada, yada. Crypto Patroller just tweeted this out. Latest Coinbase confirms no financing exposure to bankrupt crypto firms Celsius, Voyager, Three Arrows Capital, etc. They did, however, state down here that in a footnote, Coinbase did disclose non-material investments in Terraform Labs, the technical developer firm behind the more than $50 billion Terra ecosystem, which collapsed in May after its stablecoin Terra USD faced a bank run. So they did have some investment in the Terra project, however, not big enough to necessarily affect their bottom line. I think this is interesting. Of course, why would they just come out and say this unless there was a reason? I would keep quiet, if I were them, unless I had to kind of get ahead of something that I knew was coming down the pipe. So we got the three insider traders as well. And Wheezy at Nerd Nation Unboxed brought this up, which I thought was interesting. Coinbase, you delisted XRP after the lawsuit dropped. Why are you now coming out and saying this? So they also said this, guys, this just came out yesterday. Coinbase blasts SEC over insider trading case, says none of the tokens it lists are securities. And yet they decided to delist XRP back in January of 2021 after, the SEC obviously launched a lawsuit against Ripple and XRP. So on the one hand, they were fine with doing that. And now on the other hand, fast forward a couple of years, Coinbase is now saying, none of our tokens are securities as per our rigorous method in which we test. So are you going to actually delist these other coins, Coinbase, or not? Similar to XRP. And I think an even better question, Coinbase, are you going to relist XRP now that this is coming to light? So I think a few things. I think Coinbase is probably in on the ruse, and maybe they got double-crossed, and now they're coming out and going against what the original plan should have been. Yasin Mubarak here, also on Twitter, saying, it's clear to me the SEC cares more about delaying the outcome of the Ripple case than the outcome itself. So this just kind of going towards the Ripple case and what is going on in the entire crypto sphere. This is very important too because it affects all crypto. That's why they're attacking crypto on multiple fronts, Library, Coinbase, and other tokens, etc. They don't want a loss against Ripple before they can score a win somewhere else. And guys, I've been saying this for months now. The SEC, they've been caught. They thought XRP and Ripple were going to be an easy target. But boy, did they underestimate Ripple, the XRP community, the the resources that Ripple has. Obviously, they've spent what was it, $100 billion or not billion, $100 million on lawyers. Yasin Mubarak just kind of asking the XRP legal community, what do you think? Ticket to the moon, saying, why did they bring it first then? Does that make Jay Clayton a double agent? Yasin Mubarak saying, they thought Ripple would cave and surrender quickly, and this is exactly what I think. They never expected this much fight from Ripple and the XRP community. We have been an integral part in this, guys. I really do think we have been. And I think, for all intents and purposes, I think we could safely say that the XRP community did play, at least in a small part, could have played or is playing currently, such an important role that this is actually going to change legislation for cryptocurrency in the United States, because we know, the Ripple XRP case is going to be a landmark case. The SEC now going after exchanges. So they've kind of pivoted their strategy. BondCrypt XRP here, mentioning this with regards to Ripple partner bank, BNP Paribas, the French banking giant. They've just entered the crypto custody space. So this Ripple partner bank is entering the crypto custody space via a partnership with Swiss digital asset safekeeping firm Medico, according to 3 people with knowledge on the deal. Crypto custody from Fireblocks is also involved in the bank's digital asset infrastructure, according to a press release on Wednesday. Many large banks are edging towards crypto custody, but what makes this deal particularly significant is BNP Paribas Securities Services position as a major global custodian with almost $13 trillion in assets under custody. BNP Paribas did not respond for a request to comment, but these guys have now inked a deal with, what was the company, Medico? They inked a deal so that they can now custody cryptocurrency through this new union. BNP Paribas, a Ripple partner too. So who knows if, maybe at some point they will be leveraging the XRPL for that liquidity to be able to transfer value for their customers, purchase exotic cryptocurrencies. Who knows how this is going to go down? Nevertheless, it's interesting to note that this Ripple client is now partnering with Medico and continuing to build value in the crypto space with a custody solution for their clients. Interesting news there. I wanted to thank BondCrypt XRP for posting that. Also, just with regards to FTX, so some more crypto exchange news there, and talks to buy the South Korean exchange Bitthumb. Sam Bankman-Fried's FTX is looking to buy South Korean crypto exchange Bitthumb, according to Bloomberg. Acquisition talks have been ongoing for several months now, a person familiar with the matter told the news outlet. There's no word on Biththumb's potential valuation, though. The crypto bear market has given companies with large cash reserves the perfect opportunity to acquire struggling competitors, and FTX, for example, just reached another deal to acquire troubled lender BlockFi for up to $240 million. And agreed to purchase BitVo and Embed Financial earlier in June. So we're seeing FTX really kind of expand. They are one of the biggest exchanges in the world. So they are, looking to expand. Of course, this is not surprising. We heard Brad Garlinghouse say this. This is going to be an era where mergers and acquisitions occur. Ripple not particularly looking to purchase any company specifically, but, we are going to see a lot of these exchanges, a lot of these other companies purchase, decide to acquire or merge with these companies that are in trouble, the companies that are going bankrupt because of over leveraging. And, I guess it was pretty obvious looking back at it. You see that 99% of cryptocurrencies are garbage and, a lot of these exchanges over leveraged. So why wouldn't this happen? It's an opportunity for the Binances of the world, for the FTXs of the world, and all those other major cryptocurrency companies that are still very solvent. So interesting news there. Also, this guy's from the Wrath of Kahneman. Visa is reportedly looking to invest in AirwallX. So AirwallX, which is a Ripple partner, they are perhaps entertaining an investment from Visa, who is Ripple enabled through the Earthport connection. So Visa is reportedly looking to invest in cross-border payments fintech AirwallX. People familiar with the matter told Bloomberg the Australia-based provider is seeking to raise a $100 million to $150 million extension to last November's Series E funding round. At that time, it raised $300 million at a $3.3 billion valuation. AirwallX's valuation will remain unchanged by the extension, the people said, adding that no financial decisions have been made and plans might change. So another interesting merger here, this time two Ripple partners, Visa, Ripple enabled, as I mentioned, through Earthport, that Earthport connection that occurred back in 2019. Remember that when Visa and MasterCard were battling that out? And now they're looking to invest in another Ripple-enabled company, AirwallX. So, like-minded businesses driving the future value for payments. Visa, I feel like Visa is, really on top of these things. They comprehend where the payment system is going in the future, and, they're getting ahead of it before the competition does. So I thought that was some interesting news as well. Wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. And another one, guys, from the Wrath of Kahneman. This has to do with Mercy Core Ventures and a report from late last year. This was actually sponsored by Ripple and RippleWorks and another company called CeeLo, another cryptocurrency CeeLo, and shares their insight after running a crypto payments pilot through 2021. Notable that it focused on the use of stablecoin. So it is no surprise to me that we are seeing the stablecoin legislation kind of being pushed through first. Another thing that I find interesting when I bring up the World Economic Forum report, Cryptocurrencies, a Guide to Getting Started. This was back from last summer. And we just go to page 17 here. You guys can see some of the cryptocurrencies that the World Economic Forum has been focusing on. And two of those cryptocurrencies, XRP and CeeLo, are some of the sponsors in this report. So guys, I've got the report up here if you want to read the full thing. The potential of cryptocurrency for Kenya's youth, pilot insights on stablecoin micropayments for digital workers. So, an entire report dedicated to this idea of micropayments. Of course, DLT technology is perfect for this kind of thing. As Wrath of Kahneman pointed out too, it does focus specifically on stablecoins. Mercy Core Ventures invests in and fuels high-impact enterprises from seed to scale. Founded in 2015 as the impact investment arm of global development agency Mercy Core, we've supported 32-plus early-stage ventures to scale and raised over $125 million in follow-up capital. Our portfolio centers around solutions that build climate resilient and financial resilience so that those living in frontier markets can withstand disruption and plan for the future. Through targeted support, strategic collaborations, and insight sharing, we further catalyze the ecosystem towards smarter, more impactful investments. So also note that they are looking to focus on climate resilience and financial resilience. So of course they're going to pick cryptocurrencies that have a low carbon footprint. Again, one of the WEF's talking points, considering it is also sponsored by two WEF chosen cryptocurrencies, CeeLo and XRP. I think that also says something. So guys, I will link this again in the description of the video if you want to go over this, but wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman just for posting that. And here's one from T-Hole Benedict XRP. Ripple customer Terrapay is now partnering with Mongolia's SendMM. So more Ripple-enabled partners, extending and broadening the RippleNet ecosystem. With another partnership, Terrapay partners with SendMM to pave the way for seamless cross-border payments for Mongolian residents and diaspora across the world. On its journey to strengthening and unifying the global payments ecosystem, Terrapay, a leading global payments infrastructure company, has partnered with SendMM. So these guys, again, based out of Mongolia, SendMM is a leading money transmitter and non-bank financial institution. Through this partnership, both companies aim to simplify the complexities and ease the challenges associated with borderless payments. So, it's becoming clear to me at the beginning, back in 2018, 2019, Ripple was, saying to, I guess, the customers that were open enough to listen, hey, look, we can streamline payments for you. We can license our technology to you, and you guys can basically be top dog. And, usually when it sounds too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. And so, of course, I'm sure there were lots of skeptics, as, we discussed back in 2018 and 2019. Part of their whole endeavor had to do with the education surrounding DLT technology and RippleNet and XRP and how that worked and all that stuff. But look at how it's paid off, right? Look at all these Ripple-enabled partners who, like the Terrapays, the AirwallXs, all these guys have been Ripple-enabled partners for a few years now. So they have really proved how the system works, and now these guys have the upper hand. They are the ones that are now partnering and in some cases merging with some smaller companies, other companies that just do not have the resources. So they are kind of, a step ahead, but this is all great for us because they're expanding demand expand. They're expanding use cases in some instances and just, driving more value to the XRPL, which essentially will give XRP more value down the road. So the costs of sending cross-border payments are really high, slow, and not secure. And this partnership is a step towards achieving the vision for both firms to transfer the way Mongolians receive and send money in real time by empowering the customers with financial independence and inclusion. So customers will be able to send and receive remittances to key corridors. And guys, look at how much these corridors have expanded. The UK, the US, Austria, Belgium, the Czech Republic, France, Germany, Kazakhstan, Poland, Sweden, Switzerland, and they're also allowing access to key send corridors like Australia, Canada, China, Denmark, Japan, and the USA. So boom, more value driven to the XRPL, this time in Mongolia with the Terrapay RippleNet connection, now partnering with SendMM. Wanted to thank T-Hole-Benedict XRP for posting that. Michael Branch here on Twitter posting this. This has to do with dormant XRP tokens, guys. They have been getting shifted. So these are tokens that haven't moved in a while, and now we're seeing a spike in activity. Published here by you today, Sentiment Aggregate Data has spread the word about large amounts of dormant XRP tokens getting shifted. In the meantime, Whale Alert has reported about 375 million XRP moved over the past few days, but there are lots of dormant XRP coins that are getting moved as well. In a recent tweet, popular data provider Sentiment stated that over the last week, the 7th largest digital currency, XRP, has hit a few big milestones. Among them, Sentiment mentioned was several primary active wallets beginning to move their XRP contents. So huge wallets moving lots of XRP. Aside from that, the data producer shared a chart according to which several large dormant XRP wallets have also begun to shift their coins. So these are people or organizations, again, who have been holding XRP for a long time. Now there's a shift, which makes me wonder why. Why all of a sudden are they shifting, especially now, since the market is fairly low, which makes me think that they are not necessarily speculators, but perhaps shifting their XRP for some other kind of purpose that has to do with real-world utility. I don't know. But anyway, here is the tweet to that effect. Sentiment says XRP is ahead of the altcoin pack recently. So compared to all other altcoins too, they're saying, XRP is leading the pack, and some major milestones have hit over the past week. In addition to several massive active address spikes firing off, there have been massive dormant tokens shifting addresses this week. So let's keep a close watch on that. And just to bring you guys up that chart here is the sentiment chart. You guys can see here, XRP's 208,000 active addresses on Saturday was the highest since February of 2020. Now, if you guys remember February of 2020, what happened in February of 2020? Well, okay, that was the sell-off, it looks like, for crypto as the beer flu was hitting. So it was actually this time period here. So a lot of activity back then as well. Considering the market, though, has already kind of collapsed, and, for all intents and purposes, XRP from its high has already come down about 82%. Why would we see this many active users now shifting their XRP? So some very interesting questions here. Could it be that real-world utility is coming sooner than we think? And I mean, it's going to build, I think. I don't think it's going to be a flip-the-switch moment, which I know a lot of us want it to be this big flip-the-switch moment, and XRP goes to $589 immediately, but I don't think it's going to be that. But there have been talks about, like the other day, I talked a little bit about the permissioned ledger with regards to that Sharia law article and how that is changing the Middle East. And I know some people have been kind of questioning, what is this permissioned ledger? I thought XRP was decentralized. I did not think it was centralized. Well, guys, I wanted to kind of clear this up, and I think we should take a look at Anders' tweet thread here. And I think Anders here on Twitter does, sum this up quite nicely. I'm also going to talk about a few other things, what I think about this, and why we probably don't have to worry so much, okay? BIS released their report, A Future Monetary System, in June of 2022, which was just last month. It contains some heavy critiques against crypto, so pay attention to the cryptos that they're critiquing. This goes on to say, but it would make the argument that if there's one crypto that could pass standards, it's XRP and perhaps XLM. So XRP, XLM, like two peas in a pod. Also, just to kind of go back to this WEF report, we can see XRP is on this list along with Stellar. So, the World Economic Forum as well also agrees XRP, XLM, good to go. He starts off with a controversial statement, and that is that, in my opinion, there is an element of the XRPL being permissioned. So yes, just to set the record straight, The XRPL, yes, it can be permissioned, guys, but that's not to say that it is a centralized network, and I think this is where, some of the FUD comes in as far as validators go. So we got to think how the XRPL runs. It runs with validators. It's not a proof-of-work system. It's a different type of system. Just read this yourself. He goes on to say a paper from Ripple in 2016, and so he lists the supporting documents here, but he highlights some of the key points. Validators, XRP, in the Ripple Consensus Network, the stakeholders select their validators, resulting in verified institutions as trusted validators with a more balanced geopolitical distribution. Now, again, this is from 2016, a long time ago, I guess, considering where we are today with the XRPL ecosystem and how many validators are up and running today, 6 years later. The XRPL has been described in several other instances as having an element of being permissioned in different documentations. So here's just another point. XRP Permissioned Network, where only certain network nodes can validate transactions, and they compare it to permissionless Bitcoin and Ether. So again, that's making it sound centralized, but let's keep going. I talked a little bit about the Sharia law and how that occurred in a video I did a few days ago, and how even they were calling it a permissioned blockchain. Now, the reason why I mention this is because of the document from the Bank for International Settlements, the BIS, where they offered critique against crypto. I think it's important to note that the BIS is often considered as the central bank of central banks by a lot of people. So this is important, okay? How they're framing it is very important. Anonymous validators, this is what they want to get rid of. This is what they are negative on. And permissionless blockchains, okay? They do not like the Bitcoins and the Ethereums, and especially not the Moneros of the world, okay? They say that permissioned DLT can play a role in multiple CBDC projects like Corda, Quorum, but still it's interesting to me since the obvious end goal for Ripple when working with central banks is that they will end up using XRP for settlement between CBDCs. So again, just permissioned DLT, central banks work together in multi-CBDC arrangements. And as we know as well, Ripple has also been a proponent of CBDCs, creating even some CBDCs for some smaller nations. Anders goes on to say down here, they say that atomic settlement by crypto could offer benefits to the financial system. This is definitely a role XRP could fill as it's being positioned as a global settlement asset. So again, guys, the context. Permissioned system, running CBDCs, leveraging XRP for liquidity, and the permission portion of this is going to lie with the validators. They have to be trusted validators in some cases, okay? But that's not to say the entire XRP ecosystem is going to be that. Nevertheless, crypto offers a glimpse of potentially useful features that could enhance the capabilities of the current monetary system. So here's what it's saying here. The XRPL is highly customizable, automatic settlement, bundled transactions incorporated in a future monetary system. They bring up the fact that anyone can validate transactions in Bitcoin and therefore completely permissionless. So there's more just talking about that. Huge criticism came from the BIS against crypto's incentive structure, meaning people are incentivized to validate transactions through economic rewards, as in proof of work and proof of stake. So guys, here's where they're differentiating. Let's not paint all cryptocurrencies with one brush. Let's assume for their purposes they want permissioned blockchains so that they can run private transactions. I mean, let's not forget these are banks, right? They need to have a system hidden from hackers and potential crooks. So they are saying, right, DLT technology can be permissioned, and in these statements they're saying it is permissioned. And I think this is where the FUD can come in, because permissioned will lie within the validators. And what they really want to push back on are the permissionless blockchains where anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry around the world can participate, because we just don't know who's going to add their validator to the system. As we know, there is no monetary reward in XRPL for validating transactions, which is quite rare. I'd recommend this lengthy speech by David Schwartz. So he links a speech down here, which I will link. It's linked in the tweet thread. So if you guys want to check it out, you can check the description of this video. Then there's the critique against DeFi. Again, more talks about dApps. To reach consensus, validators are incentivized through rewards. So they want to push back from decentralized finance. They want to push back. They do want to have a central system. Obviously, the powers that be want to remain in charge, and this is why they've chosen technology that can be adaptable. This is very interesting to me, he says. They say that limitations of blockchain is not technological, but because of its incentive structure. And as we know, XRP offers no monetary reward for validating transactions. The problem with fees for monetary rewards, okay? Security is enhanced through incentives and decentralization, but sustaining incentives via fees entails congestion, which limits scalability. So this is part of the reason, the technical reason why we can't have it. Overall, they handed out major criticism against blockchains because of its monetary incentive structure. So Again, to translate, they are talking about the cryptocurrencies that have an incentive structure, the Bitcoins of the world, the ones where, for example, you have to mine coins, and that branches off to the whole idea of their environmental impact ideology as well. So these are the types of coins that they are not happy about. However, the BIS completely ignored both XRP and XLM in this report, which is interesting since those are the two most involved. And I think this is good. He says, those are the two most involved relating to cross-border payments. Ripple is also working with a lot of central banks, as we know. Its absence is probably good, to be honest, and I completely agree with this, because of crypto only receiving criticism in this report. So, again, to sum up, the cryptos that are getting criticized are the ones that are completely permissionless. XRP, the XRPL, can be permissionless, but you can customize it via the validators. So just real quickly here, to give you guys a quick definition, be it permissioned or permissionless, blockchains both have a specific set of features. However, where permissioned is focused more on private entities and companies to manage their data and operations, the permissionless blockchain is created for more and more people to join and contribute to adding their value as well. So anybody can join a permissionless blockchain, and quite frankly, anybody can run an XRP validator. But at the end of the day, it's going to have to do with which set of validators organizations are going to use, which brings me back to this March 2021 report. Ripple pilots a private ledger for central banks launching CBDCs. So again, private ledger versus public ledger. This is all part and parcel to where these guys are going. XRP is decentralized, but they do have the option. Central banks can run on a private ledger, which back in 2021, Ripple was already setting them up to do. The beauty about this, guys, is that XRP flows freely throughout. Private, public, permissionless, or permissioned, XRP is going to be the value-driven added asset that moves everything of value. So more value added to XRP, the higher the price goes. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.